Hey everybody, welcome back. Here I am squished inside of a tiny bathroom tackling another job today. Now I wasn't really prepared for this. As you can see, I'm not wearing my normal hat. I'm wearing this other one that's just a little bit crooked. But I needed to get this done and I didn't think it was going to be a big deal. It's changing a light bulb. But it turned out the light bulb broke when we tried to unscrew the old light bulb, and the base of the bulb was stuck inside of the socket. Very difficult to remove. We ended up having to remove the lens covers, which is also a very big job as it turned out. So this became a little project. Luckily, it's something that even I could do. Alright, I'm going to do this job two ways, but the first way I'm going to actually stick some metal pliers up into the socket. For that reason, it is extremely critical that you turn the power off before you do it. Can you do it with the switch? Technically yes, but if someone comes in and turns it on while you got your pliers in there or you knock it accidentally, you're going to get a shock. It could be very dangerous. So, I would say it's mandatory that we turn it off at the panel. Power off. All right, let's go. All right, so we have our power off, and now we're going to get at that base in there. So if you can reach in there and grab a hold of it and turn it, then you're good to go. But what often happens is that the reason the bulb broke in the first place is that it's just stuck in there, and so you're going to need a tool. So we can do it two ways. The free way is if you want to just grab a pair of pliers, and we're going to stick them in the base, and we're going to open them up as wide as we can, and then we'll turn the pliers to unscrew the base that's still in there. The problem is with a cover like this, it's very difficult to get your pliers in there, so we're going to have to take the cover off in this case. Now how do I do that? Well, inside there is a nut that holds the cover on its fixture, and so we're going to have to reach in there and grab that and then turn that nut. So unscrewing this nut is actually kind of difficult, especially if you got a big giant hand, because you're going to have to get in there and grab a hold of it. Now let me show you what this looks like without the lens cover in place. What you will actually have here then is just this washer and this nut, and that is forcing this thing to stay into place by force. So we're just going to unscrew this nut right here. And once we do that, both of those pieces will fall away, and the lens cover will also fall away. Okay, so the issue here now then is this little piece that is still stuck in there, so we need to get that out of there somehow. If you can turn it, like I can turn it very carefully here, but it'll get stuck. So if you could just turn it and unscrew it, then you're good to go. Now the cheap and free way is to use this like a set of pliers or something. And then what I do is I take the pliers and I stick them in there, and then I open them as wide as they go, and then I turn the pliers, and that will grip the outside of the bulb until I can get it to the point where I can remove it. Now this is very dangerous. If the power's on, you're going to be sticking metal straight into a electrically charged outlet here, so do not do that. Make sure the power is off. Alright, we need to put our cover back on before we put the bulb in there. The washers and the cover will not fit over the bulb, so it's going to go cover first, followed by this washer with this open side up, and then your nut, which will go with the flat side up, so that the riveted side is down where you can turn it. Alright, I'm going to show you this without the lens cover in the way, because it makes it very hard to see what's happening. But you would put this lens cover up, and that's there. And then what we're going to do with our washer and our nut is hold it into place. So here we take our washer and slide that up, and then we'll take our nut and screw that on. And once it's all the way up, it holds the lens cover in place. So for us, it turned out 2 lights went out. This one was a really huge pain in the butt because the nut in there was frozen in there, so I ended up having to use some liquid wrench. Very difficult and awkward to get in there. I've literally been struggling with this for about 15 minutes trying to get this nut loose. So when I show you the alternative way of doing this, you might appreciate it. I put the base of the bulb back in the socket here so you can see that it's still in there, and I did that for the other light as well. So the issue is, well, look, I don't really want to be sticking pliers in there. I don't want to take off the lens cover. Is there an easier way to do it? And the answer is yes. And the answer is you buy one of these things. It's about 10 bucks on Amazon. I have a link below. And these things you can just stick up in the base and turn, and there's your base removed very easily. And so you don't have to remove the lens cover. These things are nice because they're longer, so you can stick it up in there without having to mess around with pliers or anything like that. Does all the grabbing for you, and there's the base. So now we can put our new bulb in. We didn't need to remove the cover. Much easier process. 10 bucks. Good to have these around. It comes with 2 different attachments. So if you have like a candelabra that has the narrower base, this one will do that. And this one here handles most of your ordinary sized bulbs, so that you can get those all removed without as much hassle. So it is rubberized, so theoretically a little safer too, instead of sticking metal pliers in there. But I'd still have the power off when I use it, and that's all there is to it. Quite a bit simpler. Okay, of course our final step is to put in our new light bulb. We'll screw that in, and then we'll give the lights a test, and look, everything is working. Alright, that's it for this detailed version, and again, there is a shorter version out there if you still need it. But now that you've gone through the whole long one, I guess you probably don't. Anyway, I hope this video was helpful, and if it was, please hit that subscribe and that like button. And until next time, this has been Steve for Things That Even I Can Do.